Welcome to my Spanish class. We are about to finish the semester. There is 2 more topics to talk about. Today's topic is a very easy one. I make a change. So instead of teaching formal commands that is in chapter 8 of your book, I jump into chapter 11 and I will be teaching today informal commands. In Spanish, commands can be formal or can be informal. Formal are in chapter 8. Informal are in chapter 11. So I jump into chapter 11 because they are very easy to do. And they are related to the main topic during this semester, that is present tense conjugations. Why I'm saying that? Because in order to do an informal command, the only thing that you have to do is make a sentence in third person in present tense. Let's say that you decide to do this sentence. Zach habla español. You erase español, you erase Zach, and what you have left is the verb. That verb is your informal command. As simple as that. So you say habla, that's an informal command, right? The problem with that type of commands is that you will be using them very little because your circle of trust, your circle of friends is very little. The formal population that you may encounter in your near future or in your future is larger than the group of your friends. But nonetheless, it's easy to digest, it's easy to understand what we want to achieve here. This is a different kind of mood to speak in Espanol as well as in English. We call it modo imperativo. In informal way, we call it mandatos. You call it commands, right? Now, for the informal commands, the subject that will get the command, the order, is a two person. That's very important to understand, right? No one else, but two has to get this type of commands that we will try to explain today. So I will skip nosotros form and I will skip vosotros form. That is a completely different ball game. If you continue in Spanish, most likely in 202, we may revisit this topic in the variety of commands that we have in Spanish. Okay? For now, we will be focusing in informal commands. So one more time. An informal command has a to as a subject, right? That person that is receiving the command and will be executing the command, it has to be to, no one else. Second thing, for practical reasons, in order to make an informal command, you go into a third person sentence in present tense. You erase everything but your verb, and that verb is your command. Like in the example that I gave you, right? Zach habla español. You erase Zach, you erase español, and what you have left is the verb, right? According to Zach, third person, and that's habla. Habla is a command for two, right? So if I am commanding you to speak, I will say habla, right? Now I can modify that command attaching pronouns to the command, and this is very important as well. Remember that we were learning different rules in the past. When we study direct object or we study the indirect object and even the reflexive ones, we learn to put the pronouns in front of the conjugated verb. In this time, with the commands, especially the positive commands. What I mean by that is command that doesn't have the adverb no or the adjective no, or right? We don't have the no. It's a positive command in that sense. We will have to attach the pronouns to the verb. So if I am saying di, that's the verb, that's an irregular one. I will talk about that in a moment. La verdad a mí. Dime la verdad a mí. That sentence is very bad because I don't need to put the a mí. You already know that. We learned that last class with that double substitution. But allow me to make a terrible sentence. Dime la verdad a mí. I already attached the me, attached to the verb. Dime, right? Dime what? Remember the expression what will reveal us the direct object. Dime la verdad. So I can replace la verdad and make a double substitution here. I hope that you remember that. I know that's a very hard topic, right? Dime la, that will be the new command. All together, di is the verb, me is the indirect object person receiving the information, la verdad is the direct object, that's feminine singular, that will be la. So, the new word, the compressed sentence, the compressed command will be dímela. Notice that I'm emphasizing the verb because I'm putting a acento there. Dímela. Right? Now, if I am commanding you to tell something to everybody, not as a specific indirect object, I can say di la verdad. If I want to compress that sentence, I can say dila. Right? There is no indirect object in that sentence. There is a direct object but not an indirect object. But if I'm commanding you to tell me the truth, right, I have to tell you dime la verdad. All right? You can command me to put my glasses. Ponte los lentes, right? Ponte los lentes. Now, if you hear that, ponte, that's the verbo poner in a reflexive form, right? Let me make the sentence in third person for you. Cole se pone los lentes, right? That's a reflexive verb, right? Cole is putting his glasses by himself. Nobody else is helping him, right? Now, since that are reflexive, we have to make that verb as a command reflexive as well, right? So you are commanding me, forget it about call, forget it about the rest of the sentence, focus in the verb, ponerse, right? So if you are commanding me to do that, you will tell me, ponte los lentes, right? Or you can do a double substitution there, saying pontelos. Now, that's another irregular verb, right? I will summarize the 8 verbs that are irregular in a moment, but in the last 2 sentences, I have been using 2 irregular dos. Decir, that is di, and poner, that is pon. What other verbs are irregular? Similar to poner and decir, hacer is irregular and is as, H-A-Z. Venir, that is ven, V, the small v, E-N. Then ir, that is B, V chica E, exactly like the command of verbo ver. They have the same command, so you have to be careful with that. Only the context will let you know if you are using verbo ir or you are using verbo ver. Ser, the command of ser is se. S-E acento, exactly like the conjugation of verbo saber in the you form, right? So only the context will let you know, are you using saber in the present tense or are you using a command with verbo ser, right? Salir is also irregular. It will be sal. And also tener is irregular. And the command is ten. So, decir is irregular, di. Poner is irregular, pon. Hacer is irregular, as. Venir is irregular, ven. Ir is irregular, ve. Ser is irregular, se, with acento. Salir is irregular, sal. And tener is irregular and is ten. Alright? Besides those 8 verbs, the rest of the verbs follow the normal structure that I told you. Make a sentence in third person, erase everybody, erase the context, erase the subject, keep the verb. Your verb is the command. If that verb needs to be, for whatever reason, has to have pronouns, you have to attach the pronouns to the verb. That's the only way to do it. This is a different rule. It's different than the rules that we studied recently when you have to place the pronouns before the verb. Here you attach the pronouns. It's not after the verb. You have to attach them to the verb. It's one single word. And sometimes you have to put a sentence there, and that must be difficult, right? What else I can tell you to summarize this? So if I do a reflexive one, right? I have to use the te as the reflexive one. Ponte, right? Ponte, you are commanding me. Ponte los lentes, right? That te there is the reflexive pronoun for tú. It uses come el dulce, right? Come is the third person conjugation of verbo comer, right? Come el dulce, right? It uses toma el teléfono, right? Toma el teléfono. Cierra el libro, right? María cierra el libro. You erase María, you erase el libro, and you say cierra. That's your verb, all right? Now you can apply that command to specific things. You can say cierra la puerta. Now you can compress that, right? Because la puerta is a direct object. You can say ciérrala, right? You can say abre el libro. You can compress that sentence because el libro is a direct object. So you can say cierra, ábrelo o ciérralo, right? You can say léelo, right? So every single thing that we already learned applies to this topic, except that we place the pronouns attached to the verb rather than before the conjugated verb. I hope that you would like to do commands. You can practice your commands to your pet, with your pets, your dog, your cat, your family members, your dad, your mom, your siblings. You can practice this with your friends. If you are using Zoom or you are calling them, command them to do something for you, right? So every single person inside the circle of trust, you can use this kind of informal commands. I hope that you enjoyed this topic. I hope that you find it easy and productive. We will see each other next class. That will be the last one, by the way. But before I close the class, I want to remind you to go to YouTube, watch the videos, and if you can, subscribe to my channel. So long for now.